Comfy Sunday is not responsible for the views, actions, or opinions of its guests or advertisers. An appearance on this program is not to be considered an endorsement. Information contained herein is not to be construed as medical or legal advice, and the viewers of Comfy Sunday are encouraged to do their own research. How's everybody doing tonight? Yet another in a long line of Comfy Sundays. Trust me, you guys, you're going to want to stick around. I'm so glad you guys are here. I know Methods is too. I'm sure Bryson and Jerry are going to appreciate it as well. Everybody, I hope you're all curled up with your blankets on your comfy couches. Hope you got something to drink, maybe something to snack on, because we've got another exciting show for you. It's going to be a good one. We've got patriots from across the globe here. I see people from the UK, all over the United States, Texas, Sarasota Springs, the Netherlands, Jacksonville, Florida, Virginia. The list goes on and on. You guys, thank you for being here. Please continue to sit back and stay comfy. And we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. In 6 months' time, or a year, or however long it takes to sort out the stock market and the situation with the Wu flu, where will you be? Financially, are you going to be in the same place? Are you going to be worse off, or are you going to be better off? If you're losing money in the stock market right now, and your retirement fund is taking a hammering, you need to do something different, quickly. You don't have to be a victim of the markets. By using some precious metals to back up your investments, you can give yourself a safety net to protect you and your family from financial disaster. You can put these into your IRA or 401k rollover and get a tax break on them to boost your returns even further. Noble Gold has helped hundreds of clients do this, and their reviews on consumer sites show just how happy folks are with the results. And you can join them. Talk to a Noble Gold specialist today. You can reach them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347, or hit the link below and see how they can help you. Tell them Red Pill 78 sent you. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel.
Doing good, man. How are you doing tonight? What's up, chat?
I was muted. Welcome once again to Comfy Sunday, guys. Sorry about that. As always, is Methods. He's already said hello. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's get a shout out to see where you guys are from. We love to see patriots from across the globe. And as always, joining me here is Simone as well. She wants to make sure that everybody says hello and that they're having a comfy Sunday. I think that it's safe to say that the viewers of this program are feeling pretty good about everything that's going on. You know what I say to mandatory quarantine methods? It's a vacation.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're the best equipped for it, being the introverts that we are in real life. So being able to do this and focus and hang out with family and all that, you know, it's a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. You know, I think that people in today's world, especially the hubbub, the rigors of everyday life, we don't often get the chance to just sit back and relax. Now, I realize that many people out there are not going to be able to do that. They're going to be working harder than ever, and I want to give them specifically a big shout out because anybody working in the healthcare field, anyone who is directly on the front lines and taking care of people who might need the assistance, big ups to you guys. Thank you very much for doing what you do. Also, thank you to all of the mods who are here today. I appreciate you guys showing up and hanging out in the chat, keeping things nice and civil. Man, we've got people from all over the world here. I see somebody from France, Methods.
I see Scotland.
Yeah, Liverpool, UK. Nice, nice. You guys, I would like to know how you guys are feeling. I want to know what it's like in your neck of the woods, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. I know that the people who watch this channel, the people who watch this show, you guys are prepared for this. We've been talking about this for a long time. So no surprise, Uruguay, wow, cool, Uruguay and Wales, Canada, Portsmouth, Mars, oh, another one from Mars, always from Mars.
Right, yeah, Q talked about you being real.
Yes, that's right. So did Robert David Steele. Kylan Jones, thank you for joining as a member. Also, Humanity's Ascension, thank you for joining as a member. And Copper Tropicals, love the avatar, thank you for joining as a member. Scott says, comfy AF from the Nelson family. Nelson family, thank you for being here, guys. Jay Schaefer is not feeling good about the situation. Well, Jay, hopefully we can help you to change that attitude here by tuning into this program and hearing the soothing sounds of our voices and the the calmness of our demeanor, because that is what's important here. We have a responsibility to impart that sense of calm to other people. Now, that doesn't mean that we roll over and we give up. We're taking the totality of our experiences and putting it together to make an educated guess and theory about what's happening and how this is all going to play out. I think that this is the moment that we were all born for, guys. I mean, we were brought into being in this moment of time by God for a very specific reason. I mean, Methods, what's your opinion on that?
Oh, absolutely. And I agree. Like, I know that we literally have the show named Comfy Sunday, which means it might come across as we're just, staying, ignorant to what's going on or, everything happening. We are paying attention, and it is very serious what's going on with jobs and stuff. I get a lot of messages about people, out of work or having to let employees, take breaks that they don't really need to financially and all that. We hear you, but we want to give you a couple hours, at least a week. And I'll speak for Red Pill's other shows too, to kind of give you a moment to just unplug from all of that and hang out with us a bit. Try to be as comfy as Red Pill's sweater.
That's right. I'm channeling Arizona right now. My dad, bless his soul, he was real big on the Southwest style. Like everything in his house was, made of sandstone. That salmon color that you see in a lot of Southwestern apparel. And he had a duster jacket with this cool hat. I think he would have been a cowboy in another age, most definitely.
Right. We got Conscious A about there being sarcastic, saying he's very upset that Hollywood is panicking right now. No, the videos are incredible. I mean, I guess we could talk on that a second.
Wait, Methods, I'm so sorry. Before we get into the meat of the show, I want to ask for a very specific prayer request for a good friend of the program. You guys know him as Hater Proof. Hater Proof is always a big part of these shows. Every single live stream, he comments on every single show. He's been admitted to the hospital as of this past Monday for emergency spinal surgery. And when we spoke on Friday, he was feeling pretty dire about the whole thing, but he said that it was an honor and a privilege to serve alongside us and to be here in this moment in history. I'm going to be giving you guys updates. I'm going to let you know what's happening, and hopefully he's okay. Hopefully, Haterproof, you're watching right now, brother. If you are, we love you. We're going to be praying for your health and safety and for the safety of your family as well, because he does have a son. So yeah, just keep him in your thoughts, you guys, and I appreciate it if you do.
Yeah, nothing but love, man. I've been saying his name in chats forever. Mm-hmm. As far as this movement, that's been a name that's been around. He's always been nice.
Yeah.
He's always hung out, been there with people. So yeah, definitely be praying. I see a lot of the prayer emojis out there right now. Yeah, just keep them in your thoughts and prayers and all that stuff, and we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, and hello to a real Red Pill 78 girlfriend. I love you, honey. Thanks for being here and helping out. So yeah, getting back to the response in Hollywood, it's certainly been an interesting week, hasn't it?
Right. I mean, it's like at a point when people say they're trolling us because they know we pick apart everything.
Yeah.
It's when it's that bad that's kind of a fair argument. We don't know. I mean, to me, it always seems like they're trying to pass some kind of message with each video. I mean, people are out there decoding Legos and stuff like that, and we don't know. We don't know. It could be. I've seen some kind of be put in like letter form and stuff like that, but it definitely doesn't seem right. Because let's say that they are trolling us, just for sake of argument. This lives on the internet forever. And they're putting out really, really dumb stuff, looking terrible on camera. We all know that we all can sing just as good as Madonna.
That was the worst.
Right.
I couldn't believe it.
So them putting out all this stuff right now and how they're talking, to me, I would have to say they are trying to pass messages to certain people.
Yeah. What
those messages are, I don't know. But we also know that all of them have been secluded and treated with yes men. And having that lavish lifestyle, that after a week of quarantine, maybe this is what just happens.
Yeah, could be.
But with that said, it is entertaining. It is fun to see another video from these people just acting, like the tinfoil's on the other foot right now, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Need to say hi to my mom. Mom, glad you're here. Crypto Beast says, rest in peace, Josh Crooklyn. That's definitely a name that I've seen on Twitter before. Crypto, if Josh is gone, that's awful, you guys. And we lost another friend of the program a couple months ago, Steve Perk. I know that I mentioned it once, but I know it's going to happen. I mean, you have this many people watching the show, but it's still no less of a shock seeing these names, every weekend, and then noticing that somebody doesn't show up anymore. But regardless of the methodology and the reasoning behind these celebrities and what they're saying, I can see one point of view that they spend their every waking moment putting on an act, making sure that they look perfect for the cameras. So they've got some time off and maybe they decide not to wear makeup. But I do think that it looks like there's a little something more going on there. I know that when I stay home for a couple of days, my look doesn't change that drastically. Even if I don't necessarily take a shower or something like that. I mean, like my face does not fall apart in the same way that it looks these people are falling apart.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And to me, I'm interested to see what it's like a week from now. Then, what kind of videos are they going to put out? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've had a lot of discussions on what may or may not happen during this time. But we're still kind of not withholding judgment, but we're just paying attention.
Yeah.
And seeing where things lead. But it does. I mean, like when you see things like Ellen, who obviously looks like she's been crying since the last video she put out.
Yeah.
It begs the question that something's going on. And I will tell you this. If they are trying to troll us, it's backfiring because a lot of us are getting a lot more follows and questions because they don't understand what's going on. And I've seen even people reply to some of those and say, all right, those cute people might be on to something.
Exactly. And I know that somebody had posted on Twitter showing that in Google Trends, the search term for our favorite Anon has just exploded this last week. I mean, by orders of magnitude, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions of posts more than it actually would have been getting, if this whole thing wasn't going on. But people are getting a lot more interested in it, and they're seeing the point of view that we've been espousing for these last several years. That perhaps this stuff, has some validity. People are opening their minds up, and I love it. Just need to say thank you to Adam14041. He says, so the fur babies can give the deep state some brown pills. Dan Casey, thank you for the super chat. Gaffer Anon says, Wuhan adrenochrome supply cut off equals kooky celebrity videos. We are the news now. Where we go one, we go all.
Gaffer Anon, what's up, bud?
Yeah, good friend of the program. That whole Wuhan adreno connection is just mind-blowing. Very, very interesting to see that. And, I saw with Dr. Shiva last night talking about the fact that there had been demonstrations taking place in Wuhan just before this, release of this pandemic took place. So we had the demonstrations in Hong Kong as well, and all of those shut down immediately after this came onto the scene. Dan Casey says, could recent odd celeb posts like Hanks's post on 3/17 at 17:17 actually be from our favorite Anon, letting us know who is under control? That's definitely something that could be taking place. I thought personally that it was a message that, this is real, and perhaps he was unable to say it openly or outwardly, and so he's signaling. Now, what do you think, Methods? I mean, I think that, what Dan is saying here, it could, definitely be a possibility.
Well, I mean, it's an argument that could be made because it is a variable that we would know. If we are as an our side controlling their accounts and stuff, are they then controlling them, filming themselves in bathtubs, saying weird stuff, and tweeting that? We don't know. With that, it's a good thing to consider. But I will say this, since we got a little over 2,400 in here right now. Side note: click like, share the stuff out. The hunt is on any proof of life for Tom Hanks. I personally haven't seen that. I've had a lot of people ask. It's kind of hard to watch everything going on with people at this moment. But if anybody sees anything about Tom Hanks, any updates, a video that, of him holding today's newspaper, whatever, we're interested, because now it's getting to the point of where's Tom Hanks at?
Right. Yeah.
Because how David Spade talked in his video about things all depend on Tom Hanks. That's going to be an interesting piece of the puzzle, is what Tom Hanks does or doesn't do next. Yeah,
definitely. And, there was an updated video from Oprah speaking to Idris Elba and his girlfriend. It was weird, though, because it was like, I guess maybe she could have had a camera set up and then was using that instead of using the camera on her laptop, but it was still
I had a great point made to me by our buddy Endorphin that Idris was basically quoting the Matrix, talking about how this is the Earth acting back out against us because the humans are the infection on the Earth, and what we've been doing to it. I guess a global warming. I don't know. I don't follow him much.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting when you listen. It was blaming the humans for this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of it didn't unify anything by saying that statement.
No. Besides the Matrix, what it made me think about was the thinking behind the people who made the Georgia Guidestones, saying that we needed to keep the Earth in balance by reducing the population of humans so that we couldn't damage the planet any more than we have.
Oh, absolutely. And, no, but did you see that they got vandalized recently?
I did not. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that it's a new picture. People were sharing it around. I'm sure the chat can help us out with that. But somebody had gone and dumped a bunch of something on it. I'm not going to speculate what, but they were spray painting things like "You will lose."
Oh, nice.
Death to the NWO. But since you had brought it up, I know the chat's going to talk about it because those pictures were spreading everywhere. Somebody went there and just spray painted them to pieces.
Nice. Let's see. I need to say thank you to Trump Be Cool. He says, any alternatives for you guys if comms go down? Methods. Did I hear last week you were going to have a little coronial? How about little coronius Q? Methods. Brings a tear to my eye. Keep trying. Are you having a kid?
No, that's news. I'm sure that's not the case. I mean, I would have been told.
You would know. Okay.
No, that's not going on. But as far as like outside comps, we all have that set up, us here.
Yeah.
To be able to get a hold of each other. Now, if certain platforms go down, we get taken down on certain things. There are plans in place to do other stuff to make sure you guys know. Now, if the internet goes entirely down, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And some of us know how to contact each other. But as far as that goes, if something were to happen in one place, everybody's going to make sure that people know where to find that person.
I will always pop up someplace else as Red Pill 78. Maybe something else in there, and I don't know. I'll have to do something to prove that it's me. Just post a video. Tiffany Windsor, thank you for joining as a member. Appreciate that. SR Moondog says, is there a chance the celebs are controlled? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I read that one. Amerigal says, 45, keep the faith. God's in control. Thank you, Amerigal. Jason Dunn says, what do you guys think of the Q post that looked to be military comms? All non-essential businesses are closed for 14 days in Louisiana. Now, are you talking about recent posts? There's been some stringers posted by people recently without the signature, without the, oh, why am I blanking, dude? Without the,
trip code.
The trip code, yes, the trip code. And get out of my water.
That cat has been all up in your grill since pre-show.
Dude, I know.
No, but to that point on the stringer stuff, like, yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I've asked a few people that said, yes, it's kind of a military type talk that would be happening with that. We also know that more than likely military and other, bad actors have used these kinds of boards to pass information. But we've also seen a lot of people try to LARP stringer codes.
Yeah.
I don't know if not everybody spends their time on the boards. But yeah, it's something it's interesting, but it's definitely not a Q post. Q would have signed in if it needed to be drawn attention to, but it is interesting.
Also need to say thank you to Jason Dunn. What do you got? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Mike Talley says he's a new listener. Well, Mike, thank you and welcome to the program. Gino says, what's up, Zach Sportsball? Kimmel has posted 2 videos. There's a picture of an empty bird cage hanging up behind him. Is that a PEDO symbol? I don't know that to be a symbol of that, but I've seen the birdcage symbology used in MK Ultra programming.
Like the Super Bowl.
Yes, exactly. FTW Champ says, are you hiring? I'm off work until at least 4/7. I can S-word post, troll, and half-ass meme. FTW Champs, you're already part of the team, buddy. We'll talk. Kevin Dano says, millennial reign of Jesus is coming soon. And Momo says, I'm in a quarantine center. Please pray for us. Yes, Momo is in a quarantine center in Hong Kong, so most definitely keep them in your prayers. Jojo K saying that Texas will be on lockdown soon. I've heard a lot of chatter from a lot of different viewers saying that, this weekend, by the end of the weekend, by Monday, the entire country is going to be on lockdown. I don't know for certain if that's the case. I'm having a lot of people who say that they have a connection either to someone in the National Guard or their husband or their children or firefighters or police officers. The intel that I got in California was good. That came to pass. So tend to think that we are going to end up having to shelter in place somehow pretty soon. Gloria Paddock says, please pray for my mom, Martha. She's been in the ICU for 3 weeks, and we are unable to visit her due to the virus. Definitely pray for Gloria's mother. Sorry to hear that, Gloria. I'm sure she's going to be okay. The thing about it is that the medical care here in the United States is just far and above anything else anywhere else in the world. They are definitely going to be taking care of people. They're going to be making sure that they get as much care as they need. They're also going to stop doing things that they don't need to do. They've banned elective procedures in a lot of different places. Sally Jordan, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. POTUS is talking now. Yeah, that's probably why we've only got 3,000 people watching. So thank you for the update on that. If anybody has notice on what POTUS is actually saying, I'm sure it's more of the same, making sure people stay calm. Son of a Green Card says, notice no Fauci today at the presser. Coincidence or not after yesterday's show? I would love to think that our show had something to do with Fauci not going on stage. There was the other woman who wears the scarf. Apparently she's not there either. Ulrich Buckle says, where did you get that pullover? I bought this at Pacific Sunwear like 6 years ago, maybe longer. Had it for quite a long time. But I think it's a good time, since we're talking about, staying cool, keeping comfy. Obviously, our favorite Anon returned to the board last night with a single post, very simple, just says, do not fear. And I believe that just perfectly encapsulates everything that we try to convey to you guys. Do not fear, because you literally have nothing to fear. I don't think that Q would be telling us that would be just trying to placate us and make us, just roll over. I believe that that's a genuine and honest thing for them to say. What do you think, Methods?
Well, I ultimately would love if everybody, wasn't at least, wasn't worried about things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am grateful that Q showed up and said that. We all, we look to Q to see what Q wants us to pay attention to, or, all this stuff. But we're also all individuals, so I'm not just going to say, well, Q said it, so that means everybody calm down and end quote. No, I mean, you have your lives, you have different things going on besides Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. But that's, to me, I made the decision a long time ago, and Red Pill has too, that we are going to try to enjoy life, and fear can drag you down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could fear something happening, and let's say that it does end up happening, but it's 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it happens. You will look back on those 5 years and say, how much life did I lose, or mental struggle happened during that time because I was so afraid.
Exactly. There will always be challenges in life. We cannot allow ourselves to be paralyzed by fear because of what might happen. I mean, life will inevitably go on, or at some point it will stop for every single one of us. And in the meantime, I intend to have the absolute best and most productive life that I possibly can to, fulfill God's plan for me in whatever sense that might be. So in my estimation, filling yourself or consuming yourself with the fear, rational or irrational, of what may or may not happen, it is just not productive.
Right. I mean, and it's a natural emotion. It happens. We get it, especially when you see a lot of people throughout your, sifting through Twitter or family phone calls or neighbors that are panicking, freaking out about things. That we're in essentially a pandemic that's changing our lives in a way that hasn't happened really, when they're talking about locking down cities and stuff. I know that we've had other things happen before.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to happen during election times, how convenient, but to me, this is, new territory, and we're always having new territory, being this movement that's new.
Mm-hmm.
We're still young here. So the idea of freaking out, I love for everybody to be able to just, swallow it, don't stress it. Don't have that kind of fear, but it's going to happen. But then just find your place, find your balance, step off. If things online are scaring you, put the phone down a little bit.
Yeah.
Live life and stuff, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, and like I always say, besides, having some courage in what's taking place, just know that you are going to be taken care of, because in the end, God's got our back. And there is also nothing wrong with being prepared, making sure that should something arise, that you've got that covered as well. I mean, I talk about that all the time on the program. I mean, even though I think that everything's going to be okay, I've still got myself prepared. I've got plenty of food on hand, and I've got all the supplies that I need should something take place. Now, there was another indirect message in the Q post, Methods, and I found it to be fairly interesting. There is a documentary called Dark Legacy, which is about JFK and what happened to him and George W. Bush's role in that. Well, there's also a sequel to that called Dark Legacy 2, and that one is about JFK Jr. I found that to be kind of interesting because really, no matter who it was that took part in their deaths, it was the deep state, like from the beginning. I think that JFK, when we lost him, that was when we set our country on a very dark path. And I think that what JFK Jr. represented was the return to what we could have been as a country. And that's why they had to go and take him out. Now, I'm not saying that this post is telling us that JFK Jr. is alive, or that our favorite Anon and JFK Jr. are the same people. I want to be very clear about that. But I found it really interesting that there was that indirect message. What did you think about that?
No, I hadn't heard what you were just talking about as far as the videos or whatever. and all that stuff. But I mean, it all comes down to we're in the middle of a bunch of stuff that we've never seen before, and we just got to, be calm, be there for each other. That's why, having these moments with like Hater Proof and, Steve Burke and all that, there's thousands of us that we interact with. And it still hurts the same when we hear these kind of things happen, because they're our brothers and our sisters when these things happen. So that's why, there's more important things to focus on.
Life is precious. Life is precious. Thank you to Sally Jordan. Appreciate that. Son of a Green Card said no Fauci at the presser. Hey Jude asks if I saw the iPod video. Image search of Q post leads to, yes, Dark Legacy and Dark Legacy 2. I haven't seen the iPod video, but I did see that last night. Q the music says, Mitt Romney now in self-quarantine. When the press informed the president, he said, that's too bad. And then the reporter asked him, is that sarcasm? Trump said, no, no, it's not. Paul Marshall, he says the first churches teaching Christ's message were home churches. Absolutely, 100%. Patty Kelso says, sorry I'm late to the party tonight, so forgive me if you've already talked about this. Have you seen the Twitter post regarding the stringers from Gitmo channel? I have.
That's the same stringers that we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Patty, for the super chat. But if you just, after the show's over, obviously go back and listen. We kind of went over that a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, you guys, it's 7:30. We're going to be bringing in our first guest of the night. Coming up next is Jerry Wayne. Jerry was the UAW worker who had a bit of an incident with current Democratic lead for president. That would be Mr. Joe Biden. Jerry, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, excellent. Glad you're here. So first of all, why don't you just tell us who you are, just so the audience has a bit of an introduction to you.
Oh, sure. Well, my name is Jerry Wayne. I'm an avid gun owner. I'm a hunter. I'm a construction worker. Well, I'm a millwright by trade, a union millwright. We work on all types of heavy machinery. I work all over the country. And I'm recently known for my interaction with Joe Biden.
So
you will always be known for that at some point.
Yeah.
Especially with that awesome beard that you have.
For sure.
That's the other thing. That's why I keep telling people. I think the beard's more famous than me, man. So I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's great. EO2 Dave wants to know, did he hear correctly that JFK Jr. was running against Hillary for the Senate? Yes, he was considering a run, and then due to his untimely demise, Hillary went in and just snatched it up. So Jerry, can you tell us what happened in the lead up to that interaction with Joe Biden? I mean, did they prepare you guys? Did they tell you that Joe was going to be showing up? I mean, did they ask you guys to act in a certain way, or did they tell you that you were going to have the opportunity to ask him questions?
I'm glad you asked that. Actually, well, we showed up at like 7 a.m, and then they said, hey, we got Joe Biden coming in. So nobody knew before the day of.
Okay.
So it's kind of like just a quick thing. And I had about 2.5 hours to prepare while I'm working. So whenever I had a moment, I would try to get a question together, because I'm like, I'm not passing this opportunity up if I have an opportunity.
Good for you.
And we all went over there, and they just started handing shirts out. Like they're just like, here, a celebrity's coming in, take this shirt. And then a bunch of guys that I know for a fact don't know politics just started throwing it on. So that's the way this stuff works. It's a big publicity stunt, and I'm not going to talk for everybody that was there, so maybe some people are for them, be that as it may, but it's blue and it's union, and that's pretty much how everybody's ever been taught. It's just like, hey, a blue guy, union, be for him, that's how it is, and then go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more of an independent mind now.
Okay, well, good for you. I mean, I know that in that union culture, I mean, it seems like everybody's pretty much expected to vote blue and to support whoever the Democratic person is. So good for you for having an independent mind. So when Joe passed by you, was that like a chance encounter? Or did you make sure that you were standing someplace close enough that you would be able to interact with him?
Oh yeah, I have an apprentice that was with me. He's about 6'5", and I was like, "You make sure I'm in the front." And he said, "No problem, boss." And then so I made sure I was right there in the front. I didn't know where he was going to be standing. They didn't really have anything laid out. It wasn't very well coordinated, and it was very sloppy. And he came in there with a megaphone saying, "Hey, you guys are the unions, and America's built on your back." That whole jumbo.
Yeah.
And he went through and started shaking hands. I was about like around the sixth hand, I think, my fifth or sixth hand. And he came up to me, and I just I went with the question, and he didn't want to stop me. So, the rest is history from there.
Tell the audience the question again, just in case they haven't seen the video.
I can paraphrase it.
That's fine.
I don't know what, but yeah. So pretty much it was a double question. The first question was, how are you going to keep the union man working or do better for us when we're doing so well right now? And he kind of jumped over that one, and he went to the question that how is he going to get the demographics vote, the union vote, when you're splitting us? So you want us to give you your vote when we're a union, but at the same time you want to take away our guns. So for me as an American, that's a huge conflict of interest.
Definitely. I mean, can you tell us what the overall atmosphere is surrounding that? I mean, you said when you're splitting us, I mean, clearly you can speak for yourself, but I mean, in your conversations with your fellow workers, is that a big thing? Is that coming up?
It was actually. I did have some people saying that they wanted to hurt me actually. So
really,
because look at the sense of it. I'm a union guy, and when you go against what our union's not advocating for anybody as of the moment. We typically wait for the primaries.
Okay.
And let's say that eventually they would advocate for this guy. Well, I just made him look bad, or at least that's what they tell me is I made him look bad. I think he kind of did that to himself. I think I asked a very admirable question. Yeah. And well, people see it as I'm like another Joe the plumber, and I personally don't see it that way. No. Well, what they are looking at is like, okay, you made this guy look bad, so therefore Red's going to win and blah, blah, blah. So just get out of here. Well, after a few days went by, people actually finally caught up to what I asked, and they saw that it was a pro-union question, and that I am still a pro-union guy, regardless of what color you are. And a lot of people started to come around. So I'm getting all over the country now. I'm getting quite a bit of love from union.
That's awesome. That's what I was going to ask is, what has been the overall reception? I mean, so obviously you're saying nationwide you're getting a good reception. What's it like at work? I mean, were you getting, directly or indirectly threatened in the days after that, or was it more subtle?
It was more indirectly. I did confront some people face to face because I'm a man. So that's kind of how I handle things. And as the days progressed, I became, I'm not going to say I'm like a celebrity or anything like that, but I came through and like I had so many people coming up and wanting to take pictures with me, and they wanted to shake my hand. They're like, hey, like, don't worry about what these guys are going to say and blah, blah, blah. And, when it comes down to it, a lot of people, they talk about fascism, and I only see fascism from a certain side. Yeah. So, and when I walk through work and I have all these guys saying like, hey man, somebody had to say it. Why do we as Americans feel like that we can't say things that we believe in? Yeah. There's something else going on here.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Methods, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I mean, as far as, because I watched it from the outside, just being on Twitter, seeing it blow up everywhere, and I'm sure you went along for that ride too, Jerry. It wasn't a matter of everybody necessarily saying, oh, that was a Trump guy asking that question, trying to get a gotcha moment. We saw it as an admirable, like you said, question that needed to be asked. You're asking a question of a guy that wants to lead the entire nation. And it's a concern that you were having, as well as some people that you were talking to. But what I was seeing from people's reaction, especially the, people that we interact with, is that you were just being a patriot, asking the right thing to the person that is trying to take Trump's job. And what if he had given the most immaculate answer ever, which nobody's ever accused Joe of doing? To me, you did what needed to happen, but the fact that it got used in a way, how it spread, it makes sense that they were mad at you for even asking it, because they're worried, like how you're talking about. This is all about sound bites and narrative control. And the fact that you were able to just ask a simple question and it ended up happening to help Trump, that's just where we are right now. So I want to, hat tip to you, man. And I'm sure many people in the chat here agree.
No, I appreciate it. I'm not trying to advocate for anything left, right, or center personally, right. But I mean, if that's the way you guys see it, more power to you. But the way I see it is that there's somebody running for political office, the highest office at that. And if you can't ask him a simple question, and if he can't come up with an articulate answer, I don't think that he's fit for duty.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And the thing about it is that Joe has given conflicting answers. He has shown himself to be wavering in his platform. And if you are putting yourself out there as, running for president, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting questions from your constituents and the people who could potentially be voting for you. So, yeah, hats off to you for sure, 100%.
Thank you.
Just got to do a couple of super chats. Jay Britt says, feeling awfully comfy. Mike Q says, true patriot versus traitor. Claudette Petchart, thank you very much for that. And Chumley73, did Jerry ask about Beto working for Joe?
I did, yes.
Yes, yeah.
During that question, yes, I did. I brought up the fact that there was a video with him, with Beto saying that. And that's what he did, is he's trying, let's just say, let's give him benefit of the doubt. The best route that he could possibly take is the fact that he's trying to grab a certain demographic, and that demographic be gun-grabbing citizens. And that's what Beto did. That's how Beto became in the spotlight. He's like, yeah, we're going to get the guns. And everybody's like, yeah, woohoo, let's go do that. Well, then Biden beat out Beto, and Beto endorsed Biden. So now Biden gets to adhere to that demographic. But let's just say that's all it is. Let's just say he just wants that demographic and he's never going to do anything. I'll be damned if I sit here and watch somebody come into the presidency with that in his back pocket. There's no way. Not any patriot in the United States will let that happen.
Lisa H. says, Red Pill, can you please state it was the Surgeon General saying donate blood? People are spewing he was saying don't eat blood. Not true at all. Love all you guys. Thanks so much for all you do. Lisa, I haven't actually seen it, but I can be fairly confident that the Surgeon General did not tell people to not eat blood. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So, Jerry, can you give us your opinion of Joe Biden just as an American voter? What did you see when you saw him?
I saw someone that doesn't show restraint when they're put on the spot. I also saw somebody that is ill-prepared. I saw a presidential candidate show up to wave his hand and expect to get the vote of the union people. Not just the ones that are there, but all over America. This obviously was a publicity stunt. And he wanted to come in there and expect that, we're just stupid guys. Mm-hmm. We're not just stupid guys. We're people that like to think about things, think about our future. We have families, we have pensions, we have a lot of things to think about. Yeah, we work a lot of hours, but some of us, we like to think about the future and about what the president is going to do that's going to impact us in the years to come. And I kind of wanted to lay that on him, regardless of what he was going to say. I hope that maybe he would have said something articulate, but I also pay attention to this stuff, and I know that he has backtracked multiple times.
Yeah. What do you think his handlers thought about the way he interacted with you?
I think he handled them. You guys saw the video for yourself, and that didn't work out too well. So I'm sure they had quite the conversation in that car.
I bet they did.
I would have loved to hear that.
Jerry, is it okay if I ask, how things have changed for you since President Trump came into office? I mean, generally speaking, I think a lot of people look around. We see that President Trump has kind of saved American manufacturing. He's reversed a large portion of our trade deficit. People across America are thriving right now in ways that they haven't for decades. So have you personally and your family felt that in your lives?
Yeah, we felt, I personally felt quite a bit of change. One positive, one negative, and I'm not pointing fingers here. The positive is we've been on, until recently, we've been on the strongest bull run that we've ever seen for our economy and the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. Our stocks are doing great, and until this recent event. And the negative, I would say, is this country is very split apart, and I'm not pointing fingers at that. I think that the political parties are stretching and not the people. And people are drawn to certain platforms. You think of it, you have a North Pole and a South Pole. When those North and South go away, you stretch out the things that are in the middle. And that's what's happening right now, is that we are such polar opposites right now. People are just being drawn away. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that it is President Trump's fault. And I'm not saying that it is individual people's fault. But definitely the demographics are being stretched here.
Absolutely. What do you feel about the role that the mainstream media has played in this because, I mean, from my point of view, since President Trump announced that he was going to run for president, it was immediately an attack on him, an attack on, who he was, his character, the legitimacy of him becoming president, because I'm sure that you'll remember prior to that, President Trump, or at that time Donald Trump, was by and large loved by celebrities, by people in the mainstream. He was looked up to. I mean, even hip hop. The Trump rich people talked about him in a good way. And now all of a sudden, once he wants to become president, then everybody turns their back and has to just make it an attack. What role do you think they've played in the way our country's divided?
Well, I can speak on that on a personal level now. I don't have to look and just point just like everybody else can. I think the rest of America can see things happening before them. And I do advocate that a lot of citizens should reach out and get their own media through, say, YouTube or podcasts or something like that, because you're now looking at the news through your constituents and not let's just say it's a possible media bias. Okay. But me personally, I have been a victim of media bias. I had this whole Joe Biden thing come in, and I've had multiple videos sent to me by certain media institutions that have doctored the video to make Joe Biden look not as bad as he actually was.
Really?
So yes, there's the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, but then Trump tweets out a video that's just a clip, and it's been doctored to make Biden look bad. It's incredible.
Well, there you go. It just goes to show that, people change things. So get your news from the source that you most believe, I know it's hard to do right now, but I definitely would not recommend just blindly following certain media paths. Find your own.
Right. We definitely talk about that here on the program a lot. You've got to use discernment. There is just massive propaganda across the board. I wasn't aware that there had been some level of attack on you from the mainstream media. I mean, were there any hit pieces written about you? I mean, did they attack you directly? No, sir. Nothing like that. Okay.
It was more of a to make the situation more lighthearted than it was to bash make me look bad. Yeah.
Carcel has joined the program as a member. Thank you for that. And then Chumley73 says, what percentage of his union brothers are Trump voters? Is that something that you can perhaps postulate on?
I don't think that I can actually speak on that, not because I don't want to, but because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not something that we talk about a lot, because there are some people that you don't really talk politics at work because it can turn physical quite quickly.
Right.
So, but sometimes you do talk to people in underlying conversations, and I do believe that there is a much larger portion that are for Trump than what is to be said.
All right, that's good to hear for sure.
Well, I mean, that goes to the whole thing about the media attacking and labeling and calling, because we support Trump, and we'll support the next president that's trying to take this agenda of America first. But we've been labeled and attacked so many times. It's not surprising that there's quote unquote like closet Trump supporters. You can't wear a MAGA hat in certain places for things to happen. But we're seeing more and more people that are standing up and they're okay with saying, hey, I support Trump. You can go to hell if you don't like it. But it wouldn't make sense. I think we're actually going to be pretty surprised at the amount of votes, or other people will. I think we'll get it, but other people are going to be surprised when these votes start coming around for Trump, because people are tired of it. They just might not yell it like we do.
Yeah, that you may be right. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, so what have you got going on there, Jerry? Anything that you plan for the future?
Yes, sir. I'm glad you asked that. I am working with some other organizations right now that are trying to get my face out there and to speak about some of the things that I've been talking about thus far. And what I'm pushing for right now is the Second Amendment. That's the biggest thing. That, and just the fact that we need to unite this country. And that's why you don't see me going left or right. And you guys can make your presumptions however you may. But when it comes down to it, we need to be able to talk to each other as citizens. And so let me get back on track here.
Sure.
They're going to be sending me to certain places to speak on these things. I'm going to be doing some live speeches, and that is still to come. If people want to find out, they can. Actually, I'm not really good at this, but I'm on Jerry Wayne AR14 at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So if anybody wants to know what's going on, it will definitely be on there. There's quite a few things that are coming up soon. I don't know exactly how soon. I'm very new to this, guys, so I'm doing my very best. But my goal is to just unite the United States as well as protecting the Constitution.
Good, dude. I'm really glad to hear that. And I just want to let everybody know that I've got links to Jerry's Twitter. Also, he's got a GoFundMe, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share that link.
Actually, I have stopped. Sorry to interrupt. I have stopped that GoFundMe.
Okay.
Because I do have other things in the avenue right now.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to. Apparently, my cousin made that to go buy me a beer, and I appreciate all the love, guys. Thank you very much. But keep your money. It is very tough time right now. And use it to help other people out right now. I appreciate all the help.
Yeah, awesome. Well, in that case, I will just share the Twitter, and then you can use that handle to go find him on other social media platforms. How has the situation nationally and globally with the CV-19, how has that affected you and your place of employment?
My place of employment, all the union guys actually got together and they walked out because they didn't feel safe.
Really?
I was not personally a part of that, but that's what they decided to do. I actually left prior to that because I am actually hitting this full force, and I'm trying to do this as my full-time gig now too, because I believe that this is what America needs right now. America needs a voice, and a lot of people have instilled that voice into me, which if you don't feel that way, then you don't. Then just tell people that I don't speak for you. That's fine. But a lot of people do want me to speak for them. And I'm very honored and blessed.
Well, that's awesome. Are you considering any, anything on YouTube or anything like that? I mean, are you going to be getting your own channel?
Yes, I am. I'm very, obviously, unfortunately, because I kind of figure that out. I'm not very tech savvy. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. I'm just a construction guy. But yeah, I will be starting a YouTube channel, and people will be able to follow me on there as well.
All right, awesome.
Well, let us know when that happens, even if it's just an email, or if you need to have your girlfriend email us, that's fine too.
Yeah, for sure. She's definitely the backbone of the operation, for sure.
Hey, shout out to Jerry Wayne's girlfriend for that. Thank you for helping us out. No, but as soon as
your service.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as soon as that happens, Jerry, let us know, and we'll make sure that it gets spread across platforms.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
I think that you need to, you get it, you understand it, you have a point of view. And it's unique, and I think that it would be great for you to be out there talking. So that's what I was hoping that you were going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing in the future. Well, Jerry, I want to give you the last word. Anything that you want to leave the audience with, or anything that you want to say at all, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, thank you. There's just a couple things. One, don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. And when you do stand up for it, don't apologize for it. As well as, I do think that you should show compassion for the opposition and listen to each other. I mean that for both sides, because you might just learn something. And if you learn something to change your ways, that's fine, but you can also learn something about thy enemy, if that's the way you want to look at it. It'll just make you stronger no matter what.
All right, beautiful.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely well said, man.
All right, Jerry. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm serious. Make sure you stay in touch with us and let us know when everything starts popping off, and we'll help you get it out there.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep. You as
Say
well.
thanks to your girlfriend.
Will do.
We'll see ya.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Man, if we didn't have the ladies in our lives helping us out, we wouldn't even be here, right?
Not at all. Big ups to both of our significant others. Right. I love you, Real Red Pill 78 girlfriend. You're the best. I'll be honest, and I've said it before on the channel, I would not be here making videos were it not for her and her encouragement. It has been instrumental in my success. So, honey, I love you more than I can possibly say.
Adorable.
All right, let's see. Dennis Ranshaw said, great show. Thank you, Dennis. Paul Marshall says, the cat owns you, Red Pill. Dogs would know better. No, tell you what, Paul, the dogs do not know better. They just happen to be sleeping right now. This cat, though, she thinks she owns me. Chumley73 says, thanks, Jerry, for what you did. Are you aware of our favorite Anon? I missed that one before we let him go. So if he is, then I'm sure that we'll be hearing about it in the very near future. Mike Q says, did you ask him where Hunter was? Oh, man, I wish I would have read these before I let him go. Two Dogs, Mike D says, Teamsters in LA have become deplorable AF, and many talk about it openly. That's awesome. They are super red-pilled. Landslide 2020. And then Michael Kenny, thank you very much for those 2 super chats. Also, I want to say thank you to Framinator 5000. He says, for the rain more than the virus has me down. The rain has me down more than the virus. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Glad you guys are here tonight. So coming up next is going to be Bryson Grey, you guys. Bryson Grey, the inventor of the MAGA Challenge. He's got an entire album out now. The link to his album is in the description of the video below.
I'll drop it right now as well in the chat.
Perfect. There's also a Spotify if you guys just want to listen and don't want to purchase it. So it's also a great way to go ahead and decide if you want to purchase it. You guys can listen to the Spotify and check it out.
Right. Well, right before we bring them in, we got 4,600 people in here right now. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Click that like button, share it out. We got another hour here, and we're going to kick it with the MAGA Challenge guy, Bryson, who's awesome. So, yeah. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I'm showing 1.5 thousand likes to 4,500 people watching. So if you guys would be so kind, if you think that this programming is appropriate for it, do leave a like because it helps us out more than you could possibly know. I always say that by liking and sharing these videos, you are the absolute biggest source of support, because if it wasn't for the people watching these videos, then obviously I wouldn't be able to be here. I also want to remind everybody that we hit 200,000 subscribers the other day. I've got 2 winners that I'm going to announce in the video tomorrow. So if you're one of those people who only watches the live streams, then make sure you tune in for my regular video tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, because I'm going to be giving away 2 $200 gift cards to wherever you want it to be from. You guys, the title of the video will be the 200,000 subs winner, along with the regular daily news. You got to watch that video, and if you're the winner, then you need to email me and let me know that it's you.
Hey, and I will say this live. Congratulations, bud. I'm
thank you,
excited
dude.
for you. I've watched you grow since me and you connected, and it's been amazing to watch happen. And when I think about how long it's been since you just got started and where you are now, you know, I'm proud of you, man. I really, really am.
That means a lot, dude. It does, because, you know, even before we were, you know, talking on the regular, I had been following you, and I really respected and appreciated your work. And I remember when we were DMing, and you said that you were a big fan of me, and I had this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, Methods thinks what I do is cool. That's so awesome. And it was a big moment for me, man. And so I appreciate you saying that. I am blessed beyond belief to be here with you guys and to be able to bring you the news, to be able to cut through the fake stuff that's being put out by the propaganda machine of the mainstream media. This is an absolute dream for me. Oh, honey, she says, I'm so proud of you, honey, and she's crying. Oh, baby, thank you so much.
You two get a room. Let's move on. Bryson's coming.
We will. Okay, coming up next is our friend Bryson Grey. Everybody, please give a warm round of applause to Bryson Grey, a.k.a. the MAGA Challenge guy. He's getting his headphones on. Hang on, where's that chat? Go away, chat. Bryson, are you there?
I am definitely here. What's up, man?
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
Glad to have you here, Bryson. Glad to have you. Did you get a chance to listen to the interview with Jerry that we just did?
I did not. I'm not gonna lie. There's like a Fortnite tournament on, and I was watching some.
What's that dance they do? Oh man,
I can appreciate the honesty, man. If you're into it, go for it. Live your life.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've never actually played Fortnite. I haven't owned a video game system since, the PS1 maybe, or the Xbox. I think I got an Xbox Maybe it was the 360. I don't know. I bought it used from somebody. Like I was working at the mall and somebody came in with like a bag of stuff. They were trying to sell it to GameStop and they couldn't. So I bought it and I took it home and it worked for like 2 days and then it gave me the red ring of death. And of course there's no refunds when you buy it from a random guy in the mall.
I literally play Fortnite like faithfully. Like it's crazy.
Man. I recently got Steam. It's like you download it on your computer. You can download it on any computer, and it's built on some architecture, and the games are pretty cheap. You can play them. Neon Revolt actually turned me on to it. And there's this website where you can go and get like deals. It's called the Humble Bundle, and you spend like $20 or something like that, and you get like 8 or 10 games, and they're pretty sweet. It's a lot of fun.
That's crazy. Luckily for me, Fortnite is 100% free.
Is it really? Dang, man. Well, don't you have to? Don't you have to have a video game system like and buy it to play it on it?
Yeah, I do have a PS4. You can play it on your PC too if you have a like you gotta have a good processor or something to process Fortnite though. So I just play on my PS4.
Right on. I definitely play Raid Shadow Legends. They're not sponsoring this video, but like I legit play like every day. My girl sees it happening all the time. Let's see. Jacqueline, thank you for the super chat. Aaron Ryan, thank you for that as well. Paul Marshall says online poker. I am not a good poker player. Like there's just, I'm terrible at bluffing. If somebody, if I was holding 4 aces and they said, what do you have? I'd be like, nothing. 4 aces. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know. Is that a good card?
Yeah, I'm probably not good at poker either.
No, I love poker. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's fun, but I'm not about to give out my handle on where I play.
Everybody goes to every online poker site and searches methods. Google Trends, crazy for methods now. We used to play what's it called? Euchre. Anybody know what euchre is?
No,
I've never heard of that.
No, you're gonna get crickets and shame from the advice.
Man. My parents would hold euchre tournaments like every weekend. There would be like 50 adults like just hanging out at my house with like a big bowl of money. Like everybody would put in like $50 or something like that, and at the end of the night, the person who won, they would win all that cash.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, okay. So maybe that's why it's like, in my head, because I was like, wow, that's what adults do.
Well, Bryson, let me explain who you're talking to here. I literally jokingly sent a NBA 101 explainer to Red Pill as a joke, just picking on him because we call him Sports Ball because he doesn't follow sports.
Yeah.
And he thanked me for it and watched it.
It's true. It's true. I was like, this is good intel.
Oh my God. That is insane.
The thing is, I used to play basketball like in elementary school, like first, second, third grade. So, I guess I didn't really pick up on a lot of things. And
So you kept the participation trophy, right?
No, they didn't give those away when I no, they didn't give those away to my class. C Grow Create says good music. Yes, all right. We've already got a fan of the new album in there. Also, Rich Knapp says Sunday Night with Red Pill 78 and Methods. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Best combo in our special world. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for that, Rich. And then Urabundant says I played it, meaning euchre, I'm assuming. So yeah, see, I'm not totally alone. People out there know what euchre is.
Hey, it makes you feel better, man. Let's go with it. But yeah, let's talk about Bryson's album, man.
Let's do it.
How's it been, man? How's the response been? I like it. I like what I've heard of it.
Thank you.
It's a great album.
Yeah, how's the reaction been since it happened? Because I know that you said like it got really close to hitting the top 100, right?
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I was actually in DC the day after I went to the White House, and just imagine the day after you leave the White House, you get a email from Billboard saying like asking for all of your information because your album will most likely be on the charts next week. And then that Monday come up and they send an email saying it on their last like data run through it barely missed it, and I was like, dang, man. That would have been crazy to have a political album, pro-Trump album on the rap charts on Billboard. That just would have been amazing. But the reaction has been excellent. It still made top 5 iTunes rap charts, top 5 Amazon Music rap charts, top 50 Google Play rap charts. And it's like a bunch of people that had never listened to rap music in their life, and like they let their kids listen to it.
Wow.
Their kids listen to it by themselves, and it is just beautiful.
That's incredible.
It must be nice. Oh, I was just leaving the White House. Is your casual throwaway statement talking about Billboard reaching out to let you know that they might be talking about you on the? Yeah. It must be nice.
You know, I'm sure
we're
that,
excited for you.
I'm sure that was an uncomfortable conversation for them. They were like, "What is going on? A pro-Trump hip hop album."
I bet you when they was going through it, it was like, what in the world is this? And they hear like actual rap music, like just no profanity, straight like bigging up conservative values, Trump, and I'm talking about God a lot on the album. I know it was like, it probably made it, but they was like, oh heck no, we can't let this happen.
Right. That's honestly what I was thinking too. They were definitely, they were like, no, we can't let this happen. We can't let this happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about radio airplay? I mean, have you do you got stations contacting you? I mean, like, no, nothing like that.
No, let me tell you something. I know for a fact the radio station here, they would never play another song by me. So, you know, as being a Trump supporter, I doubt you'll get played on many rap and hip hop stations. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, I make music because I like making music, and I make music about things that's relevant to my life at a time, whether it be a political album. I'm working on a religious album right now. I mean, I make music because I love making music. So,
and we need more of it too. I mean, because like you were just saying, like the whole idea of talking about God or not cussing or whatever, and that being, you know, shunned upon by the gatekeepers of music in general, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And we need more people. That's why we all love, you know, our Severanon. I know you know him.
Yep.
Because he's trying to do that as well. And we need those created. We have other great people. Blue Eyes singing is awesome. We have more and more people doing this stuff, and it needs to happen. So whatever you do, man, whatever we can do to help, because it needs to be changed to where the idea of radio, if you talk about God, it's just not allowed. I know we've seen the videos of different rappers saying that they were told that they can't do that stuff. It's a problem. So let's, keep going, man. You got our full support.
It's a lot of music that's anti-Donald Trump. So, to me, hip hop music was meant to be counterculture anyway. And the fact that I can't be counterculture with the music I make is just very insane. Even the people from the radio station listen to my album, and they had to admit that it was a good rap album.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But of course, they're not going to play on the radio. They'll probably get boycotted the same day. I'm already the most hated person out here.
So that's my next question. I was going to ask if it's gotten any easier, or if people have gotten more aggressive with it.
It's worse. Because it's like, you already hated me for liking Donald Trump. Then I went viral for liking Donald Trump. Now it makes you more mad. Then I'm going to the White House, which pisses you off more. And next thing you know, I have a rap album about Donald Trump on the iTunes charts. So now you just really hate me. So for people that hate me, the hate just run deeper now. But I have changed a lot of people's minds about politics, period. There's a lot of people that was calling me the names they call black conservatives. They call me every name in the book. And now they're saying Trump 2020 on their pages. It's very crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Changing hearts and minds.
Yeah, it's odd because a lot of conservatives, when I'm at these events, we go out for some reason, probably because I always wear some Trump gear. And for some reason, it always ends up being a conversation with somebody. And by the end of that conversation, that person is always 100% of the time at least saying they don't hate Donald Trump.
That's good.
That's the winning, but they also recognize that hat of yours that you wear around sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes I wear the hat, and then sometimes I my roommate, we make shirts, so I wear a shirt that just say pro Trump on it. I got my MAGA bucket hat. It's always just a natural conversation starter. And when they realize that I talk just like them, I'm just a little more informed on politics, so I guess they can relate to it more.
So what about Donald Trump getting his hands on the album? Do you think that he had a listen, and maybe there's a possibility we can get you at a rally?
I don't know. Everybody's requesting it to be me to be at the rallies. I don't know. I know there's a few people at the White House that are familiar with the album and like the album. I don't know if Trump has heard it, and plus he's dealing with a lot right now, so I really
Right.
don't expect. I don't expect much. He has a lot on his plate to deal with right now. Period. But if I could perform at a rally, that would literally be like the peak. And I perform with a lot of people. I perform with 50 Cent. I perform with a lot of different, huge artists. But to perform at a Trump rally would be.
Well, a lot of people might not know that. So what was your history before all this stuff? Like what kind of rap were you doing before and all that?
Just regular rap music. I really became popular in high school with my group. I was in a rap group called 336 Boys with a Z, which is our area code. And we were just real popular locally. And then we made a song about McDonald's called Mickey D's. And like during that time on the internet, I was probably like 15, 16. It went super viral on the internet. People were making videos to it and all. Like,
oh man!
And you can still probably, I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet now. Mickey D's, and then
I'm
after
looking
that,
for it.
yeah, just like in 336 Boys, Mickey D's, it'll definitely pop up.
Okay.
It was back when double cheeseburgers were $1. and then I don't know how old people are in the chat, but I'm a little older when it comes to like this stuff. And we were on a show called 106 in Park that was on BET.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know what that is. Red Pill's gonna act like he does, but
I do know what it is. I've seen commercials for it, anyways.
yeah. So my rap group ended up going on 106 in Park. We ended up winning. Like then we went back for an all-star thing, and our MySpace blew up. That's how. And I was like 15, 16, 17.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Was Tom your friend?
And Tom was everybody's friend.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Then after that, we had songs on the radio station in North Carolina. Like, yeah, so many songs on the radio station. I was getting paid shows from like age 16 to like 22. Then it slowed down. Then I had another song on the radio about 2 years ago. But after that, no more for this Trump supporter.
Okay, so were you support? I don't mean to cut you off, Red Pill. Were you supporting Trump before the election of 2016, or how did that play out?
I started talking about supporting Trump on my social media before the election because he released that 100-day plan. That's when I was like, okay, come on. At that point, I don't know if y'all remember the 100-day plan he released.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but when he did that, I literally read it because I was just because before that I was just like every other ignorant person in their 20s. I was a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't know nothing about nothing. He just said something that sounded good. But once you start doing research, and soon all you have to do is realize that your taxes pay for the government in its entirety. After that, it's like, okay, yeah, supporting Bernie at that point is very ignorant. So I started like looking at Trump because he was already entertaining. Let's be honest, he was entertaining. So then he released the 100-day plan. Now you can see what he about, and it's like it wasn't even a Republican plan. It wasn't a Democratic plan. It was like a common sense plan. Is what I call it when I used to argue with my dad back in the day. And I was like, I mean, why not support? If you don't support Trump after reading this plan, something wrong with you.
I agree. Let's see. Sue Randall said, buy a rose for your sweetheart. Thank you very much, Sue Randall. Mike Q asked if you can freestyle on CV19 on the the global pandemic that we got going on right now. Jason Dunn wants to know, are there any other supporters in the music industry that you know of?
Yes, I don't want to put my friend on blast, but you can
Sure.
easily find him. I have a friend. If you go to my social media, you'll end up seeing him if you look far enough. And he was in the 336 Boys with me. He has like 2 gold singles.
Ooh.
Now. Yeah, he has 2 gold singles, and things of that nature. And he told me every time we talk, he was like, "Hey, bro, I ain't about," because every time I'm around my friends, somebody has to argue with Bryson about politics. And he always say, "Hey, I already told you. You had me years ago. You convinced me years ago." So well, he's not gonna say it, of course.
Let's see. Stone Faith Patriot says, "Speak life, Bryson. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. We have what we say. Don't doubt. Believe and expect your record to the top of the charts." So yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be inevitable at some point. All of these like walls that have been put up that have been keeping people back from being able to objectively look at the president, the job he's doing, and how good America is. I think that inevitably those are all going to come down, and hopefully they will be able to open their eyes and realize that you're talking truth. You know, I mean, it's not just some propaganda that you're putting out, or you're not getting paid by the president. I mean, you're actually speaking your true and honest opinions, and it's even more than that. I mean, it is exactly the truth of the matter. President Trump has built this country back up from, basically it was a pile of smoldering rubble when he took over. And we are completely in a much different position than we were before, even with whatever is happening right now, even with all this panic that we see and, everything that people are afraid of. I mean, it's still better off than we were before. Frank Dalfior, thank you very much. He says, play a song. I mean, I'm assuming that your music is copywritten, correct? So I mean, if
no, I purposely made it where anybody can use it for videos and stuff.
Oh, right on. Okay, well, what? I mean, I've got Twerk Time pulled up, but that's hey, listen, hey, but do you see how many views it has, right? And look how old it is. Yeah,
like that song was on the radio. Shake for the Millions on the radio. We had so many 56 Boys songs from back in the days on the radio, but them songs are not clean songs at all.
No, of course not. No.
Red pill, you filth monster.
Well, again, I saw the Avatar, and I had to... All right, I'll get something pulled up, and we can throw it on in the background.
Yeah, you can just go to my Bryson Grey YouTube, and I should have all my songs on there.
Yeah, I'm here. All right, and in the picture on your banner, you're standing with some guys, and you've got your MAGA hat on, which I'm sure gets people's goat when they come to your channel. They're like, "What is he doing? He's not supposed to like President Trump."
Oh, that's exactly what they say. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're pulling that up, let me ask you, Bryson, what do you think about what Kanye West has been doing? Because you already had something ready to go.
Yes.
No, go ahead, man. I'll shut up now.
Nice. Listen, everybody who knows me know I'm a Kanye West fanatic. I don't even have a top 5 rap music artist ever, and he's in my top 4. But as far as this path right now, I just want to know where it will lead, because I'm super religious, and I view myself, but I view myself as a biblican. I just really believe in that book that a lot of people don't like personally. And so if you're gonna claim to be of that, of that lifestyle, I just want to know which route he could take. He could take the, I hate to call it this, but the fake Christian route, where you're just a Christian in words but not actions, or
in presentation.
Yeah, in presentation and not actions. Or you could take the route where you go the other way, but the other way is persecution just naturally comes with it. And I know Kanye is used to persecution, so I wouldn't be surprised by that route either. But I see him with Joel Osteen and stuff like that, and I view people like that as so I just don't know where he's gonna go.
I know what you mean. I was just I grew up. I'm a 5th generation preacher's kid. I grew up seeing what you're talking about from other preachers and stuff, the ones that would come through and preach and give the sermon that coincidentally sounded a lot like the last one sermon that came through. Yeah. I'm curious too. I like the idea of what he's trying to do.
Me too.
The fact of what he did when he came out and just stopped his show and called out Google and everything was amazing. But yeah, that's one of those things that I'm just kind of watching him. And like, all right, what are you doing?
Yeah, where's this gonna go? Because it could go either way, especially like when you're trying to start a journey at that stage. That means you can go talk to the biggest people, and unfortunately, who claim to be the biggest Christian leaders, I honestly just view them as false prophets and false teachers.
Right.
And but of course, that's who you're gonna go to. You have connections with them, so it's like I'm praying for him though.
Right. No, we pray and we see what he does next, but hopefully it's the right choice.
Yep.
Just want to say hey to the Real Severe. He is in the audience. He's going to be coming back on the program here in the very near future. Also, another amazing artist that I think should most definitely be performing at a Trump rally.
If we got a Bryson Grey Severe tour, even if it's just videos,
we got some songs coming.
That's the next question.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to finish them either tonight or tomorrow. I mean, I'm laid off. All I have is time now. So.
Right on. Okay, so tell me, what should I put on? Which song would be good?
The most popular ones right now is "You Can Leave" or "Trump Is Your President."
Yes.
Those are too much popular ones at the moment.
If you don't like this country, you can leave.
Yes, sir.
I like that one. I really like that one because when that clip came out of Trump saying that you can leave, I was like, yes, the world is on fire and I'm on the right side of the burn. Like,
yes, sir.
Let's get a preview here.
They talk about socialism, please shut up. They say keep it PC, but now I'm about to cut up. Black, white, and
Coming
brown.
up right now. If you early on YouTube with
And
it,
if you a woman, you a daughter, you a mother. I support the real, I don't care about your color. Say the truth, like they trying to take our freedoms from us. We got Al Baghdadi. Tell Miss Clinton this is not no Benghazi. It's crazy watching Democrats defend Soleimani. Telling Tifa that I strapped up, so don't try me. They trying to take your guns. Control the flow of information. They feeding you fake news. Just how they started the nation. Now your kids supporting terrorists. They should support our nation. And if you don't like this country, get out. Stop procrastinating. If you don't like this country, you can leave. If you don't like this country, you can leave. They talk about socialism, please shut up. They say keep it PC, but now I'm about to cut up. Black, white, and brown, I'ma still call you my brother. And if you a woman, you a daughter, you a mother. I care about who real, I don't care about your color. Say the truth loud, they trying to take our freedoms from us. Hey, you can leave. Cardi B, you can leave.
Cardi B.
T.I., you can leave. Colin Kaepernick, you can leave. Tell Bernie Sanders he can leave. If I know more, you can leave. Tell AOC that she can leave. Same thing with Rashida Tlaib.
There we go. Awesome sauce, dude. You gotta love it.
The best review from Laura Sanders. Love this. I'm an old boomer too.
Hey, what's funny is there's a lot of like older people that's like, this is the first like rap music they've ever bought, and that's like the most awesome thing in history to me. It's sort of like creating new, I don't know, rap. Man, I love it. I just love it.
Right.
Good stuff. Doing a great job. Let's see. Trump Be Cool says, yanking your chain earlier, Methods. Humor is a great way to deal. Positivity is more infectious than CV-19. God and family is everything. Stay positive. Stay strong. No fear because hashtag God wins. Much love, guys. 100%. 100%.
Don't you do that white power symbol on our
Uh-oh, bad.
looks like the official account of the Denver Royals says, is that even a team? I don't know. When does the number of self-mitigated deaths from suicide, depression, drug addiction, and homelessness outweigh the victims from coronavirus? Sanctuary cities for the young. I think that's a great point. We've had a lot of people dying for a long time from all of these things. And only now you've got people on the left who are suddenly decrying it. You know, like, what about the homeless population for coronavirus? What about addicts for coronavirus? I think that if we've got a 30-day shutdown, there's a lot of people who are going to get sober. What do you guys think?
Sound like it could possibly be, because I mean, if you can't afford the drugs,
Well, you just can't get them. Everybody's locked in their house.
Oh, yeah, everybody locked in their house will be on lockdown. So I mean,
Yeah, and then you have Trump that's going to send out these checks, but you've been talking trash about Trump for 3 years now. Are you going to cash it?
Don't accept it. I told my dad, I said, don't take that check. No, sir. My dad don't like Trump. I was just over there earlier. I said, don't worry about it. Just, matter of fact, if you get it, give it to me.
I am anxious to see how people react to that. You know, I mean, like, are they going to give them away? Are they going to tear them up when they get them? More than likely not. No, they're going to go ahead and cash them, and then they're going to maybe continue to decry him and say that he's a terrible person. But I mean, it's just instance after instance of reasons why President Trump is a good guy and he's doing good things.
Hey, 1 second, my dad is literally in the chat. He said, "Don't talk about me, boy."
Mr. Grey, glad to have you. That is so funny.
That is hilarious.
Oh man, I won't go looking for his handle. I don't want to dox him.
It's G-Bop music.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're very proud of your son. The president is very proud of your son. And I hope that if nothing else, you can get behind President Trump just because he's helping Bryson's career, most definitely.
I told them today. I said, y'all voting Trump in November. Stop it.
Just giving.
Like, come on. You're like y'all are not about to sit here and vote for Biden. Let's just be honest. And I know you're not voting for no crazy Bernie. You know, every time I talk to my dad, he always got my dad like is not being 100% truthful. He do like this little weird thing with his lips. What he do? He try to smile. He try to stop smile at the same time. That's when I know he voted for Trump. I did it to him today, and he was trying to act like he's not voting for Trump. Yeah, okay, buddy.
My yesterday, I believe, would have been my parents' wedding anniversary. My dad passed away like 10 years ago. And they were divorced before he passed away. But still, we think about him. And my mom was asking me, "Do you think your dad would have been a Trump supporter? Do you think that he would have been on the same team?" And I said, I sure as heck would have tried to flip him if he wasn't at the beginning. But let's see. Roland G says, "Does Bryson know Marcus Rogers? And if so, can he do a collab and possibly have them both on your show, Red Pill? Are you familiar with Marcus Rogers?"
I do. I want to say I'm not familiar with it. With him, but if there's somebody else making political music, I'm definitely down, because that's how you change culture. To change culture, you got to tap into culture.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of the GOP have missed the mark on that. So if there's somebody else trying to push that culture, then I'm definitely down to do it. Let's make informative music.
Right on.
Informative music, I like that. Informative music.
Yes, sir.
You're telling a story, you're getting a point across. And that's what needs to happen. It really, really does.
Yes, sir.
We also got Striff Sol, which is last first. What exactly is a bad word? Who decided which words are considered bad and why? And why do we believe them? You can say pretty terrible things with seemingly innocuous words. Just a thought. Well,
Facts.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. The reason I stopped using profanity in my music is is literally the reason of how it makes me feel watching somebody just allowing their kids to freely listen to political music. That's how I don't see a better way of changing the future than that. Like, this lady sent me a video of her, like, she caught her son listening to my song. It's funny because it was my song Black Not Democrat.
Yeah.
and this kid, I think she said he was like super young. Like, she just caught him listening to it. He dancing to it. It's like, I mean, if I could get that all the time, I would love it.
That's great. Andy Bond says truth and sprinkle flower prayers, Bryson. So truth, Bryson. Thank you. JNBD says antisocial distancing stops Biden assaults. Probably
right.
From the first segment.
He's the one hurting the most throughout all of this.
Oh yeah. What did he stopped doing events or something like that, or he's moved out of his home? I think I saw. I saw something that said that he has stopped filming from inside of his home because he has high ceilings and it's not adequate for doing live streaming. But I mean,
back to that language conversation. Yeah. That's a lame ass excuse. But no, I think there's something about he's now going to start doing his own type of like presser videos that's supposed to take apart Trump's narrative. So he's apparently going to do some videos, but as far as high ceiling stuff, I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of took it to mean that he was going to be in isolation somewhere that wasn't his house. You know, maybe he was going to be in a secret DNC bunker or something. Underneath the Denver International Airport. I don't know.
that man is senile. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. I just wonder, like how long are they going to keep this up? Like, he obviously has issues. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying that because I'm a conservative. It actually stops being funny after a while because it happens too often.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's like it really becomes sad. So like your family got to stop this. Like, come on now.
Could you imagine being the handler that's like, all right, the cameras are about to roll and you're standing over in the corner and you're just holding your breath for an hour or however long he's there, because it's like, okay, he's gonna gaff, but how many times?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Got to be a mess. And the fact that his wife stands out there and just smiles next to him, it's like, is she a part of it? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying, because if that was like somebody in my family, like I'm saying, I would have to put a stop to it because I care about my family more than I care about the play for power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But obviously, other people got different views.
Did you guys see that video that Saul posted the other day? It was like he was speaking, and then there was some strange like boop, like a tone that played, and he just like stood there, and then Jill came up and woke him up out of his like catatonic slumber, and he was like, oh hi, and then it was just so uncomfortable.
Oh, I saw it. I watched it. It was like he was like finishing up like doing an ad or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he was waiting for like the applause that wasn't there.
Yeah. Yaya Cat just said his wife could be the handler. I think that's probably very close to the truth. I mean,
safe bet. Safe bet.
Yeah, very safe bet. Let's see. Seagrow Create says $2 again. LOL. Destiny Lab is legit. Destiny Lab. Anybody know what Destiny Lab is? I'm assuming it's somebody on YouTube that we can find.
It sounds legit.
Destiny Lab. Let's look for it. Yeah, looks like another rap group. Oop, I don't want to get...
Yeah, don't you start playing anything.
All right, yeah,
but your cat's singing the lyrics in the background.
Yeah, Simone, go. Mark222714FTW says, great show tonight, guys. You rock, got your back. 222. Thank you very much, Mark. And then DFY says, test, it worked. Appreciate it. Cyalator, I don't know how you say this. CYAL8ER02. Cyalator02. I have a working model of flat Earth based on what we observe only. I would love to speak with any one of you on the topic. We need to get back to biblical truth. Where we go one, we go all. I'm willing to hear out anything that is a sound and well thought out theory. So you can always email me at redpill78@protonmail.com. Yes, honey. She says Simone is super annoying. Simone can get very annoying. She most of the time when she's meowing, it's because she's like trapped herself. That's why I have to keep going off camera and get her out.
No. She found out you have over 200,000 subscribers, and she's taking a hold of the fame.
Yes, that's right.
Congrats on that also.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
That's so great, man.
Yeah, just like in the last week, it just, it sped up. There was clearly a lot more people that were looking for content like this, and it, they just came into the channel and got on board. So appreciate it. Neo says, see you later. Neo, take it easy. Glad you were here for as long as you were. Appreciate it. So, what do you see taking place here in the country right now, Bryson? I mean, what do you see when you look around?
I have a lot of theories because it is what's going on in the country right now is very, very odd. The timing is very odd. How the media creating this crazy panic is very odd. Everything is just very odd, and I have a feeling of like confusion but excitement at the same time, if I'm being 100% honest with you, because I feel like the truth is there. I feel like we're gonna know the truth, and whatever that truth is, if we like it or not, we're going to know the truth, which makes it an exciting time for me. But I just don't know where we have to go before that happens.
Methods, what do you think the future holds in store for us with this whole thing that we're watching?
Well, with the whole thing that we're watching, I mean, I believe that we are going to have a cure. It's going to go around. It's going to help out. This is going to be, you're going to be able to learn more about sports ball next year. And schools will be in session, all that. I believe we're going to get there with that.
Yeah.
But as far as what kind of like Bryson's hinting at and, all this stuff, as far as everything happening behind the scenes, I'm not all that sure. But what I do know is that stock sales are switching hands. Mm-hmm. Other people are buying up these things. Currency conversations are happening. We're being able to see Trump trying to take care of the people by giving them the money instead of the bailout 2008 that happened. That everybody was arguing back then that they should have bailed out the American people instead of the banks.
Exactly.
So I would love to see some certain things happen, but we do still have Bill and Barr and Durham doing their job. behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Obviously, they did come out and say that it's been postponed a little bit because of that. That's fine. We're used to things getting postponed at this point. But there are things that are getting put in place that need to happen. And to me, I'm interested to see each day to day what breaks of all this stuff. But I'd like to see people get back to being able to work, because we are a country that wants to work, earn their living. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I've got a theory on that postponement. We had this story that came out this week about several legislators, both the Republicans and the Democrats, selling millions of dollars of stock that they held after they had a confidential top secret meeting on what was to come with CV-19.
Right.
There was 4 of them. They went out, they sold a couple $1 million worth of shares and a bunch of different things, and then they bought up a bunch of other shares of things that they thought were going to prosper as a result of this incident that we're going through right now. And it was right around that same time that we got the word on the postponement of the Durham stuff. I'm thinking that postponement is due in large part to what's taking place right now, because this is the kind of thing that we want all eyes, all hands on deck, everybody to be paying attention to what's happening with Durham. And there's no way that they would be able to if we're in the midst of this global pandemic and, this national emergency. What do you guys think of that?
Well, just to add to that point, then I'd love to hear what Bryce has got to say, because he's got a lot of theories, but I know he doesn't want to have people run with those comments. But the idea that the report came out that DOJ recently asked to be able to detain people without like a time period during this stuff, which is pretty common during these kind of things. It's kind of standard with it. But the fact that they were trying to keep it under wraps to do those things as well, it is great timing for things to happen as far as picking up certain people doing these kind of things. And we all saw and lit up when we saw Feinstein show up in that list of people, because we know that she had, what was it, a driver or assistant or something like that?
Chinese, yes.
Right. Definitely connected. And that got washed under the rug real quick. And the fact that she's selling off her stocks right before, I wouldn't mind her seeing, going off in, handcuffs for sure.
I'm really hoping that the SEC investigates this, because it is clearly insider trading. There was, for many years, this was just rigueur. This is what legislators did. They would get the confidential information. They would make stock trades based on it. But it was actually under Obama. He passed a new act. I saw this on BCP. I believe it was called the STOP Act, like the Stop Trading on Confidential Knowledge. That's what it is. And it made what they just did illegal. So I think there is a real possibility that these people could face some justice for making these types of trades, because, there's no doubt in my mind that it was insider trading.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like after a confidential meeting, you get information. Next thing you know, you're selling $1 million of shares, and you buying up other ones. I mean, to me, that's common sense. But even more than that, I'm gonna just keep my theories to myself.
The wisest man in the room just spoke.
All right, looks like somebody's asking me to slow the chat again, guys. I'm just going to slow it down just a little bit more. We'll go to a 90-second instead of a 60-second. There we go. Then everybody can get a chance to jump in on the conversation. Let's see. Conservative Hippie says, "Damn, Bryson, your tracks are fire."
Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the album.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, guys, if you want to listen for free, you can listen on Spotify. That link is in the description below. Methods, I don't know if you want to go ahead and drop that again. But definitely, if you want to support Bryson directly, you can also purchase it through iTunes. That link is also below. This is also a good time to let everybody know that they are more than welcome to follow you on Twitter as well at Sirius versus Vodka.
Yes, listen. I just want to warn everybody before you follow me on social media. I am very controversial because I am what I am unapologetically, and my belief system is just set in stone. So I'm very controversial.
He's being nice, saying controversial. He's savage. like if somebody makes a reply to anything, he's talking about what he ate for breakfast. If somebody calls him out for something that he might have said before, and he wants to clarify, he's going to retweet you, make you famous, and clarify.
Which is the way it ought to be. I mean, let's be honest. It's Twitter.
I'm supporting it. It needs to be. That's what got Neon Revolt banned from Twitter.
Yeah,
because he would do that to everybody. So no, man, keep doing what you do. I love your Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I got to, because there's a lot of assumptions, and it's like, I don't know, especially now coming from these what I call the blue check conservatives. Yeah. It seemed like they're making like an effort to try to cancel me or something. And it's just like, what? Yeah, it is. It's very. Listen, the last week I've been in so much controversy that I didn't ask to be in. And it's just very odd.
Well, spill the tea, dude. What happened?
Well, the first thing that happened was I got attacked by Brandon Straka.
From the
Walkaway movement. Yeah, on Facebook. So of course, what happened is, since the right is becoming just like the left, what happened was I'm posting my biblical belief systems on my page like I usually do. Nobody has a problem with it when I do it on abortion. Nobody has a problem with it when I do it on sex before marriage. But then when you talk about the LGBT community, whoo-wee, that's where it's full stop, Bryson. And he attacked me, and of course, everybody think you're gonna apologize or something. But yeah, I don't apologize for anything I said, because I meant it if I said it, obviously. When you don't apologize, you just get attacked. And I was getting attacked by self-proclaimed Christian Trump supporters, which I thought was very freaking odd, in my opinion, because it's like, this guy stuff. But granted, Brandon Straka's more popular. He's a blue check guy. He has all the clout. It's okay. I don't care. I can lose all my followers, and I'm still gonna pick God first.
We got to be able to have still the First Amendment. That's why it's the first. It's the most important. You know, you have your opinion. So does he on the topic. We should be able to have these things. Like, if I ever say something and somebody doesn't agree with it on a live stream, call me out and let's talk about it.
Exactly.
Because it needs that. That's why I liked when you would do things on I don't know if you still do it, but on Patriot Soapbox, when you have your buddy on, and I always enjoyed it because you guys would talk, and you started off the show talking about having different point of views, and let's discuss it. And you guys were professional and legit about it. And it needs to be that way. But when you have, like, I'm going to retweet you to my followers and give my opinion, and everybody's going to, tribalism support me with these things, and vice versa, and it becomes a fight, there could be a good, honest discussion to where you could still agree to disagree.
That's what I'm saying. Every time somebody tries to do whatever they want to me, I always invite them on my show, because my show every Sunday is made for me to discuss things with people that disagree with me on anything, really, to have a civilized conversation about it, because that's what I like to do, or debate, or whatever you want to call it. But the right is becoming very tribal also, is going into all these groups and it's just like the left. It's like no disrespect to the LGBT community in the MAGA Trump movement, but they're trying to force everybody else to agree with them. And it's like, Jesus Christ, this is supposed to be free speech, hey, free speech. But obviously free speech is not. People only like free speech if they agree with it. That's the reality.
Well, what we have learned, and we've talked about this, me and Red Pill, before, like, we don't agree with a lot of things that even get shared in the Q movement that we're involved in, like, because everybody's literally covering everything, and that's fine. We're not going to agree, with what's being shared, but it's less is more. Like, we just don't say anything about it. Now, when it comes to people replying to us, like how you deal with people replying to you, I get it, because people are like, oh, okay, he's a face now. I'm going to reply, but it's about the topic. He just happens to be the handle that puts it out. That's why people kind of look at me all weird, like a deer at a new fence, when I reply to them and I'm like, oh, you're still talking to me. It's still my Twitter account. I might have X amount of followers, but I'm still going to reply back if I'm like, hold up a second.
Yeah,
exactly. It's my account. As long I'm not harassing nobody, I'm just giving my views on my account, and you're bashing me for it, and you think I'm supposed to just fall in line with the echo chamber, whatever echo chamber people create for themselves nowadays. Nah, I don't live in echo chambers.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you guys. This is something that I've talked about many times in the past. I mean, we've been conditioned to kind of tribe up in that respect and attack people for having different views than we have. And not everybody has come to that realization. People are still trapped in that old logic, that old way of thinking. So, I mean, we talk about free speech, on a regular basis, and people must be allowed to have that ability. If they can't express themselves, then people start to stifle it and it builds up inside. And for too long, we've been made to feel that we are not allowed to have our own opinions. I mean, if people have, opinions based upon their upbringing and, their religion, then people should be allowed to continue to have that. And you shouldn't be made to feel that by expressing that you're doing something wrong. Chris Hawkins says, how many subs did Simone get you? I don't know, probably at least a couple hundred. Taraxicum Aficional, thank you for those 2 super chats. Eyes Wide Open says, Bryson, how do you see the black vote going in November? And love your album.
That's a good question.
Thank you. I think it will be historic for the simple fact that where I'm at in the local area I'm in, I mean, I personally changed dozens of minds just here. And of course, probably, I don't know how many on social media because I can't track that, obviously. But just think about what's going on around the country. Think about how many new black people you see supporting Trump. That just said bump it. I'm just going out with it now. You know what I'm saying? And the reason a lot of more black people are standing up is because we get so much hate. Like, I wish people could realize how much hate you get for supporting Trump being black. I'm talking about it is just.
It's got to be vicious.
It is vicious. It's very vicious, and if you're sensitive at all, some people hit me up and say they can't do what I do because they look at my pages and see the type of comments I get, and they say I can't deal with it. Me, I'm gonna be honest, I sort of love it because I know, it's like I know I don't care what you think, so I know I won regardless. So
right.
Yeah, so when you call me all these names, it could be one time it was like 40 people calling me names at one time, and I'm just sitting back smiling like, y'all honestly think this affects me.
No, we have this conversation as far as like the Anon movement and all that stuff following Q. Like we get attacked left and right, and people don't understand. You're just making us like even more callous and not giving a damn about what you're saying because we immediately see that you're just attacking. Just to attack. Mm-hmm. Get that point across and feel like you won. Put your phone down. Go drink your soy or whatever.
Yes.
And we're at home even more comfier because you even commented. Yeah. And you know that we're over target. So as far as like you being attacked on whatever racial level or supporting Trump and all that stuff, we get that too just for supporting the president in general and also following Q. And they don't understand they're creating monsters in real time because we just don't care anymore.
Well, I saw it today on my Facebook. I saw somebody post, if you follow Q, let me know so I can unfriend you now. And it was a Trump supporter. And I'm like, bro, what is up with conservatives being so sensitive now? Golly.
Yeah. No, I don't understand. What those people forget is that every single person who follows Q is 100% MAGA. Okay.
100%. Like there's not somebody that supports Q and they're like, oh, but I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. Everybody I know that's deep in the Q, they're all Trump supporters. We agree on a lot of stuff, and I agree on a lot of the things they say without even going deep into Q. I just agree with it because I'm always questioning things and thinking of theories about things. So.
Yeah. It's about the truth. That's all it is, really. Getting to the heart of what's actually true and right. Chumley73 says, old as dirt and hate hip hop, but I just bought the album.
Thank you so much. Those are my favorite comments.
I love it.
Good Thank stuff. You. Let's see. John Smith says, AKA Wizzy One Ear. I don't know. Maybe is that your other name, Wizzy One Ear?
Not mine.
Lindsay Lass says, if you don't agree with someone's lifestyle, doesn't mean you hate them or fear them. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they do, which is 100% accurate. Yeah.
We're not supposed to connect with everyone on that level. Like,
Facts.
we can get along. You go to your church, you listen to the preacher, you can agree what the preacher says or whatever, but you don't invite everybody over to dinner afterwards.
Mhm.
You do different things
Yes.
in life. And that's why, like, me and Red Pill, elevated to each other, because we kind of see things on the same level. And Bryson gets it to that degree too. But it doesn't mean we're all supposed to get along and agree with every opinion.
Yes.
Think about
Exactly.
the greatest example is the stigma of family reunions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to come together because we're family, but I'm also not going to call you for 2 months afterwards because I'm tired of you.
Exactly. Exactly, though. That's how it is.
Let's see. Lindsay Lass. Oh, thank you, Lindsay Lass. Two Dogs Mike D says LGBT should not exist on the right. We are Americans over here. Leave the identity politics on the left. That is so true.
Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way is different. That's what I thought too.
Yeah, it's true. I think that people are so wrapped up and used to the identity politics. But this movement is about the country. It's about our citizenship. It's about our sovereignty. I mean, like, my identity, whoever I identify as outside of this, that's my personal business, I mean, obviously I have a girlfriend, but... But I mean, that has no bearing. That has no bearing on my standing in this movement. I'm just very lucky to have a beautiful young lass who stands at my side and supports what I do.
Whatever brownie points you're needing to cash in right now, you're getting them. No, I mean, you can have personal preferences in life, whatever it may be. If there's a certain letter of the alphabet that you associate with, that's fine. But at the end of the day, is what you think is best for the country as a whole is the conversation that really needs to happen. And what you do when you go home and whatever, that's your decision. And if we want to talk about religion and that's in between you and God or whoever you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the conversation is just white noise.
Well, the problem with that is Red Pill said this, that people are just used to identity politics because the problem is what people identify as or they sexual preference, they make that their identity. So at that point, not agreeing with the identity means you in their eyes, that means you hate them. So now they're trying to force you to agree with their lifestyle. And it just happens all the time. Like the far right get mad at me. They call me a race mixer because I like
that's that's what what's his name? Strom Thurmond. Something Strom Thurmond would have said in the 40s.
listen. What's funny is I'm celibate though, so I don't have sex. All I said is I'm attracted to all types of women. And then I said there's too many beautiful women for me to just like one race. Come on. And then all you saw was race mixer.
My goodness.
Man, there's 50 shades of stupid with the idea of attacking you with that. There's more genders labeled out there than I can think of how stupid that is to attack you over that.
Ignorance knows no race, creed, or color across all boundaries. Let's see. Denise just said, bipartisan bill for CV-19 relief was pretty well on its way. Then some crazy drunk walked in and threw a partisan wrench in it. Said her name was Pelosi. I believe it. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi is trying to capitalize on, sticking some earmarks into that bill.
They're pushing the abortion thing into
God, of course they are. Two Dogs Mike D says, yes, have your personal feelings, religion, culture, etc., but no single one of those should define you. Exactly. My identity is that of an American. That's what I'm saying.
Well, to that point on abortion real quick,
mm-hmm.
It's fascinating to me that they're fighting on a bill right now to save lives, but they also want to plug into it the ability to murder the opportunity of a life.
That should tell you their character right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why I tweeted out earlier, like the same people that blamed Russia to cover up their corruption are now defending China to protect their corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem that we're dealing with in real time.
You know what else is getting me is how many people are falling for that Chinese propaganda. about the U.S. bringing CV-19 over to China, because even if that did happen, then we still would have seen it first in American service members or someplace else. But I'd like to say one of the key tenets of that theory is that Fort Detrick has been closed since last August as a result of this initial outbreak there. That is absolutely false. My friend Nate Kane, he knows, okay, and he told me that it didn't close down until very recently when this whole thing popped off and they called the national emergency. A good friend of mine, my buddy Kurt, he was like, have you seen this video? What can you tell me about it? And it was so clearly made by the CCP propaganda department. It had flashy graphics. It had subtitles in Chinese. It was by a guy speaking English. But clearly that did not happen that way, guys, and everybody should definitely be aware of that. I just want to make that personally very clear. Mary Ely says it's not about the right or the left; it's right and wrong. I think that's a great point to make as well.
Boom!
Yeah,
nailed it.
Yeah, 100%.
That sounds like a Bryson lyric.
It's just like something I say, ain't gonna lie.
Start scribbling. DFY says, building bridges, fellas. That's right. That's what we do here. We definitely, we have zero interest into to getting into fights online, but having a civil discourse is what I'm interested in. I want to have a conversation with people, and this goes back to our conditioning. People have lost the ability to have a conversation because everyone goes immediately to those hot button issues, and if whoever it is that you're trying to have a conversation with, if they don't agree with you 100%, then it's suddenly an attack on who you are personally. And that is what we need to get past.
Boom. Just like with the other drama I had last week with Wayne Dupree, another blue tech conservative. He literally just got mad at me because of something I posted. It was going viral on Twitter. And he just didn't like it. And then he tried to act like he was above me. You know how these people, when they get a certain amount of followers, they just start acting like they're just above everybody in the world. And then I said, my response was like, you can do what you want to do, but I'm going to expose the left in the way that I want to expose them.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of ending it right there, which I thought would have ended it, he wanted to keep going. And then at a point I said, okay, we can have a debate about this on your show, my show. It don't matter. If you want to have a discussion about methods and stuff like that, we can have a civil discourse. And he didn't do that. You know what he did? What? He did right after to subliminally tweet me and say something about all of these entertainers in the conservative movement trying to refer to me as like the usual stuff, grifter, coon, trying to basically call me that, and he's another conservative. And like people that some of my followers like tagged me and was like, why didn't you just tag Bryson? He just asked you to have a conversation, and you just ran to start to subliminally, But
yeah, I hate it when I see people doing that. They don't have the guts to tag you. They'll just just type your name out, leave off the @ symbol or something like that. So it's clearly a direct attack. They're putting it out to all their however many hundreds of thousands of followers.
500,000.
Yeah, 500,000 followers. Okay,
yep.
But not.
And I'm little old Bryson, so they can get away with it.
Right. Yeah. No, I had somebody attack me for making fun of what was his name that was dancing with Cash Money, doing back that ass up.
The dude who dropped out of the ring.
That's right.
What is
Tom,
his name?
Tom, what's his name?
Tom Steyer.
Tom Steyer, yes.
Steyer, yeah. Okay, so I put that tweet out saying, like, I heard about this video, and it was the exact level of cringe I hoped it would. And I put that out on Twitter, and then one of these people, I'm not going to name who, retweeted and said, essentially that I was wrong for even enjoying the laughter about it, and inserted themselves into the conversation. And that's the problem with it. He thinks, okay, well, I can make myself relevant about something that has nothing to do with me and put myself in this place. And that's the problem, that like what we're talking about. Exactly. And put it out there, and didn't tag me. So they probably assumed I wouldn't see it, but I saw it, and I saw his replies. And part of them were like, why do you even matter talking about this? Like, I mean, it makes no sense with that, but that's what they do. They literally make themselves a part of a conversation just because that's what's trending. When in reality, an anon on Twitter who just gave a damn for the last few years, built up enough following, and then put out a clip just so people can laugh about it and enjoy a moment. And that's where we are in society today. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody wants to be the king, and everybody just need to follow their whatever. I don't know. I do what I want.
Have you had anybody copy and paste any of your tweets?
Heck yeah, who me?
Yeah,
that was a lot. But I mean, I put out a message for it to spread, so I don't really care how it spreads. You don't even got to tag me. All these bigger people, they never tag me. It's okay. I don't care.
No, but have you had like that tweet where you're like, oh wow, I'm really proud of what I said with that, and then you see somebody else copy and paste it and put it out like them?
Yeah,
it doesn't make me. It really doesn't make me mad. Other people always tag me. I'm like, Bryson, this huge person just stole your tweet. They could at least tag you, and I'm like, everybody, look, people do what they're gonna do.
Right. Well, take it as a hat tip that you made it when people want to literally plagiarize your 100-something character.
That's so great. Let's see. Big Mike Loves Barry said, "Are you familiar with The Family as featured on Netflix? Forgot the main dude's name, but it's a fraternity of Christian international power brokers who live together and operate as a nonprofit in D.C. Safe to assume that are globalists. Netflix, a dead giveaway." I am familiar with that. I was familiar with the rise of The Family in it was like the late 80s, early 90s, if I'm thinking about the right group. But I've never seen it. Never actually seen it. Would like to, though. Linda Chastain, thank you for that. And American Ramrod says, Bryson Gray and Gangster Grass, the only hip-hop in this boomer's music library. Thank you, Bryson. Bought the album MAGA.
Thank you so much.
Hey, but to that point, I haven't finished a show since 2018. What about y'all?
You mean like watching a show like on Netflix?
Yeah, like a show literally from start of season to end of season, or even a movie, really. But like, are you guys noticing like a lot of us aren't able to even watch some of this stuff anymore?
I can't. Like everything on Netflix is like all of my shows I've been watching for like 6 years. You can tell towards the later seasons that are adding a whole bunch of propaganda in it, and it become unwatchable to me. And I'm like I was just on Netflix last night. I couldn't go to sleep. I'm sitting there just hunting for something without propaganda. I was talking about pages and pages. I found nothing. Literally, I just got back on Fortnite.
Yeah. I actually just watched a show recently over the course of a couple months called Counterpart. It's I want to say it was on Showtime or something like that, but it's about this experiment in the 80s that was taking place in the basement of this building in East Berlin, and this scientist created a parallel world. And so these two parallel worlds broke off from that point. Oops, we're having a problem with the chat. Broke off, and then they went on different, time streams or timelines. Yeah, that was the first time in several years that I did that.
It sounds nerdy and right up your alley.
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, you guys. All right, well, we are at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. So, Bryson, I want to give you the last word, sir. What do you want to say to the audience? What do you want them to take away? And don't forget to tell them where to find you.
My message is basically to, if you disagree with somebody, I only have family members you disagree with, stop being so sensitive. Have a conversation. You have to be willing to hear the other side, because that's the only way we can improve as a society. Also, other than that, my album, MAGA Ain't Got No Color, is out. It's conservative music about conservative values. It's pro-Trump, it's pro-God, it's pro-life, and it has no profanity in it. You can listen to it with your kids, family, whoever. It's on every platform, so go stream it. Listen to it on YouTube for free. I don't really care. Just, digest it.
All right, Methods, what do you want to say to the audience?
Hey, I'll say, Bryson, you're a great guest, great conversation. The album's dope. Everybody should get it.
Thank you.
Support the local, support, your fellow patriot. With that said, another great show. And I'm excited about next week. And I'm not going to say who, because we're going to tease you for a few days.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Keep going with it. Another great show, guys.
It will be awesome. You guys don't want to miss it. Thanks again to Bryson for being here. Thank you once again to Methods for hosting with me. Floriccio says Hollywood is not sick with the virus. They are just pushing the vaccine on us, and that people are waking up with Q. Just look at Ellen's card video added up to 17, and she said, we need to try something new. And Stone Faith Patriot, thank you very much for that super chat as well. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Love you all. Thank you to all of my mods. Thank you to my girlfriend. Thank you to my mother. And stay comfy, guys. We'll talk to you next week.